Hi, Michelle Glass here. Welcome back to another episode in our Chapter 6, Lecture 6 series. Our topic for this video is bone tissue. So bone tissue is, of course, an example of connective tissue. Connective tissues, by definition, are specialized cells located in a ground matrix. So we'll be talking both about the ground matrix and also about those specialized cells in this video. The matrix itself is composed of calcium inorganic components. So you have calcium phosphate and you have calcium in the calcium hydroxyapatite crystals. Now, collectively, these calcium mineral components are going to be making the bone very hard. And then you have also incorporated in the matrix your organic collagen fibers. So this is going to be a protein component. Your collagen, remember, is super strong. Not only is it tough, but it's also flexible. Now, it's not stretchy, but it can bend without breaking. So it's these two things together, your calcium phosphate and your collagen fibers, that's making your bone such a strong structure. When we talk about bone tissue, the specialized cell type that we need to discuss here would be the osteocyte. So CYTE ending means cell, osteo is bone. So the osteocyte is the bone cell. So when you're looking at bone, the cells that you will see there are going to be osteocytes. So the mature bone cells called the osteocyte. Now, how do you get to that point? What other cells are involved? That's what we need to look at next. So there's actually 4 different types of bone cells that we need to discuss. 3 of them are related together. So let's look at this cell lineage. Let's start with the stem cell, which is called the osteogenic cell. Stem cells are also called basal cells or germ cells. They're important because they maintain that ability to do mitosis, so they can continue to divide. In this case, your osteogenic cells are located in both the periosteum and the endosteum. So we talked about both of those tissue layers as being involved in growth and repair, and this is why, because the stem cell is located there. When those osteogenic cells go through mitosis, they are going to be producing what's called an osteoblast. Osteoblasts are going to be your cells that build bone. So any cell with a blast ending is referring to a building cell. These cells are performing as part of their job what's called osteogenesis. So that really means the formation of new bone. So these are the cells that are actually laying down that bony matrix, secreting the proteins, which would be the collagen fibers, and also triggering the deposition of those calcium salts. So that's the calcium phosphate and the hydroxyapatite crystals. So they are the cells that are producing that bony matrix. Once those cells, and also these cells are located in both the periosteum and endosteum to begin, but once those cells get completely surrounded and trapped by bone, then they're called the osteocyte. The osteocyte then is that mature bone cell that we introduced a few minutes ago. Remember, if you're looking at bony tissue, you are looking at, in this case it's dead, but in a living organism, then that bone would be full of your osteocytes. They are mature bone cells. They are the most abundant type because once you're looking at bone, you're looking at osteocytes. And they're also found inside little pockets called lacuna. So as you're looking at your slide of your bone, you'll see your bone cell, and then you'll see a little space surrounding it. And that special little space is called a lacuna, or lacunae with an AE ending would be the plural form of the word. What's the job of the osteocyte? Is going to be maintaining that bony matrix and also assisting in bone repair, because what we see can happen is the arrows don't necessarily have to go from osteogenic to osteoblast to osteocyte. If there's damage to your bone and the osteocyte gets released from that bony matrix, it can convert back to an osteoblast or it can even convert back to an osteogenic cell, so it can also be producing more osteoblasts. So essentially the difference between an osteoblast and an osteocyte, and to some extent even an osteogenic cell, would be more the job that it's doing versus anything that's really different about the cell itself. We said that there were 4 cell types, 3 of which are related. So we've talked through the osteogenic, the osteoblast, and the osteocyte. The 4th type of cell we need to talk about is the osteoclast. Now, the osteoclast has the same kind of cell lineage, or a very similar cell lineage to that of a monocyte. Monocytes are going to be important white blood cells that perform phagocytosis. Your osteoclast is kind of doing a form of phagocytosis. Now, it's not engulfing the bone and digesting it that way, but the osteoclast is going to be involved in what is called osteolysis. So let's break down. Osteo would be bone, lysis is, of course, to break apart. So what we see is that osteoclasts do have the job of dissolving that bony matrix and releasing those minerals. Remember, one of the jobs of the bone is to store calcium. So if you're storing it, not only can you stick it in, but you can also take it out. So it's going to be really important in the osteoclasts having this role of helping to digest that bony matrix, releasing that calcium to the body as needed. So we can talk about our osteoclasts as helping to recycle bone. And that's it for now.